So, how was your week?
The cameras cut before The Undertaker could say, "I may have a broken hand, but I prefer that to being in your current storyline with Katie Vick." Also cool as the biker gimmick for The Undertaker is, something about the Brothers of Destruction having casual conversations instead of being mysterious feels awkward.
You killed Katie Vick!
The entire existence of the Katie Vick storyline deserves a billion sins, but thankfully that's only a small snippet of this pay-per-view, so I'll drop it to 10 sins. Made someone's heart skip a beat when they thought I placed a billion sins, didn't I? WWE seriously put a baby crying sound effect over The Undertaker screaming in pain? That's just fucking stupid. Why would you put that noise over one of your most prized wrestlers and make them look like a pussy?
No Mercy.
The guy introducing us to No Mercy must have announced the name too early, as the video is not done with the barbed wire show before the logo appears. Chris Jericho was late for his entrance, as he's shown getting into position to stretch his arms long after his music has been playing. The graphics display names with all lowercase letters. That's not how names work, just so you know. Whoa! That one moment when Booker T gets more exploding flames during his entrance than the Big Red Machine Kane does. Usually the referee has to wait until at least one competitor from each team is present in the ring before ringing the bell. Here he rings the bell with one entire team in the ring while the other team is on the outside. Looks like Goldust and Booker T have to fight each other instead of teaming with each other.
Thrilled about being Sutton, don't you think they should have had an opportunity to do this?
Chris Jericho wants to fight Booker T instead of Goldust, and then immediately tags in Christian when he gets what he wants. Also, what if Christian wants to fight Goldust instead of Booker T? Are we gonna be going through the same charade back and forth? Not bad, not bad. That was a very creative move on the part of Goldust to launch Chris Jericho over the top rope right onto Christian.
What if it fell right down on Taz and Michael Cole? Squash him like boom!
Jerry Lawler admits that he's okay with the Hell in a Cell structure potentially falling and killing people. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Booker T tagged back in and Goldust.
What? That was Chris Jericho who tagged back in. I hope I'm not messed up for wording it like this, but if I am, I apologize. Jim Ross, how the fuck can you possibly mix up Booker T with any of these guys? Aside from Booker T, no other participant in this match is black.
Nonetheless, and another quick tag.
Christian tags himself in. The referee is clearly tending to Booker T and doesn't see it. So how is this a legal tag?
Booker T.
Man, that was an awesome roll through from Booker T. The last few minutes of this match were pretty energetic.
Head first, south of the border.
Jeez, stop counting so fast. What's your rush?
Trying to bring that tag title belt to the ring. Oh!
Damn, we're only in the first match of the night and the ring already broke. Some could argue that Goldust intentionally did that, but he was nowhere near the rope when it broke.
This is Funaki.
Funaki is a fantastic wrestler, but an absolutely shit interviewer, as he repeats himself over and over throughout this entire segment.
I did not have sex with that woman.
Obvious parody of Bill Clinton is obvious, and just like the situation with Bill Clinton, obvious liar is obvious.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Tori has a...
Michael Cole should adjust himself to the left because he's talking directly in Taz's face when he should be talking to the camera while mentioning ladies and gentlemen.
No!
Dawn Marie quickly left the ring when Tori Wilson arrived and then immediately turned her attention away from Tori when getting back into the ring. Also pre-match assault. This referee probably didn't want to be officiating this women's match and try to count as fast as possible just to get out of it. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. This match isn't that good at all, but you still gotta do your job properly.
Moments away from The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar.
Michael Cole claims the WWE Championship match inside Hell in a Cell is moments away when it's actually not happening for another 2 hours. You gotta get your times right, dude.
A lingerie contest and a bikini contest.
Tori Wilson has defeated Dawn Marie in lingerie and bikini matches, which makes me feel so bad for women's wrestling back in the day. Thank God they don't do that shit anymore for the horny virgins out there. Catfight between two female wrestlers accidentally gets the referee involved as they roll over him cliche. Dawn Marie gets mad at the referee for being knocked over by her and Tori Wilson when that wasn't even his fault.
Is a 16-time world champion.
Rob Van Dam listing off Ric Flair's accomplishments rather than keeping his head in the game about what he intends to do in his match with Rick. Much as I would be excited to face the legend, I gotta keep my fanboy to myself.
Brock Paul.
Jonathan Coachman actually believed that Brock Lesnar was going to voluntarily take part in an impromptu interview, or any sort of interview in general. Previously on WWE.
Ric Flair deserves the ultimate respect.
Rob Van Dam is literally in a scheduled match with Ric Flair, and Jerry Lawler is looking at him attacking Rick as disrespect. What does Jerry think RVD is going to do? Lay down for Rick? That'd be the ultimate disrespect if you ask me. The referee is already doing a count-out before the bell even rung for the match to begin. How can Ric Flair and Rob Van Dam get counted out from a match that is yet to even exist at this point in time? I am so confused.
Don Marie will be hitting on him next.
I was about to criticize Jerry Lawler for making references of Dawn Marie hitting on another old man like she's doing with Al Wilson, but then realized that when it comes to Ric Flair, she more than likely already has done that.
I'm going to tell you, this guy is up.
Ric Flair is a dick to Rob's Van Dams, but at the same time, that is a vintage move from the dirtiest player in the game. You mean to tell me no one has figured out that's coming after all these years of Rick doing that?
You think pregnant women are attractive?
What in the hell does that have to do with this?
Finally, somebody says it. Thank you, JR, for being great at CinemaSins 2 expansion and placing that sin in for me. About time a commentator questions the relevance of certain subjects being brought up during an unrelated match. Ric Flair wasting valuable time wooing the crowd when he should be immediately trying to lock out the figure 4 leg lock.
Tap out.
Quit your cheerleading, Jerry.
Van Dam!
Getting hit with the 5-star frog splash apparently causes Ric Flair to turn into a flopping fish out of water. The fuck? At the end of the pin, Rob Van Dam lifted up Ric Flair to the point where he literally took Ric's shoulder off the canvas. In other words, Ric was ironically the one cheated out of this match. The Big Show can apparently toss around his boss with no consequences whatsoever. It's that easy. Championship unifications are stupid and unnecessary in general, but this one actually doesn't make any sense. How could a top world championship be unified with a mid-card championship? Those are on two different levels of existence. Can the WWE Championship be unified with a Women's Championship if that's the case? Also, WWE stupidly decided to unify and retire the Intercontinental Championship all just to bring it back within half a year. And that ain't going to be the first time they unify titles just to bring them back either. This video package showcasing the history of the Intercontinental Championship further makes the fans question why it's being retired when it's such an important symbol of WWE history. This is not helping your cause here. I've just noticed that practically every match tonight has a pre-match assault. I guess we should rename this event No Mercy on Pre-Match Assault Sins.
Speaking of SmackDown, the Cruiserweight title decided here.
First off, we already know this match is for the Cruiserweight title, and you already brought up how the title is property of the SmackDown brand. So speaking of sins, you're repeating yourself, and you got sin for it.
WWE Tag Team Champion.
You also already said that earlier when Tajiri was making his entrance for this match. We heard you the first time. Jamie Noble went from picking up Tajiri to perform his next assault to letting go of him and demanding that he get up himself so Jamie could perform his next assault. Why didn't you just stick to your original plan? Is this going to be like the 1999 No Mercy when nobody can make up their minds? Oh god, please no. You can clearly see Jamie Noble was already starting to fall before Tajiri could connect with his elbow shot. Nydia distracted the referee by making out with him was shockingly far more entertaining than the actual Cruiserweight title match itself. And that's a shame too because these matches normally are amazing to watch. Nydia first kiss rapes the referee, then Tajiri kiss rapes her. Scary part is, Nydia actually enjoyed it from Tajiri. Yet she and Jamie Noble still continue their relationship after this somehow.
Do you think I'm stupid?
Gotta admit, this was an entertaining segment where Eddie Guerrero doesn't believe Chris Benoit's telling the truth about Chavo Guerrero getting beat up by Kurt Angle, only to reveal that he actually was.
I wouldn't want to go for a ride with him.
Practically this entire unification match is Jerry Lawler calling Kane a murderer for what happened to Katie Vick and making non-stop references to car accidents. And because I'm being reminded over and over about this storyline, I'm giving this another 50 cents.
Talking about the eyes of the animal.
What are you talking about? Batista isn't the animal just yet around here, Jerry. Wait, do you know something we don't?
Getting beaten right down to the...
The referee gave Kane a 4 count, but then Kane refused to stop beating down Triple H in the corner. So why didn't the referee finish his 5 count like he's supposed to? Kane clearly doesn't give a shit about unifying titles any more than I do.
What is this referee doing?
See, even Jerry Lawler, who's been making non-stop references to Katie Vick's murder, is questioning what's wrong with the referee.
Back there in the game.
Poor timing on the neckbreaker, likely because Kane is way taller than Hunter, thus the latter couldn't reach up in time before falling over.
Look, wrist first 3 count.
Kane's shoulder was way off the canvas before the pinfall even started and was in full view of the referee's eyes, who completely ignored it. Can we not have another No Mercy event full of incompetent referees, please?
Show that freaky face.
Jerry Lawler just foreshadowed Kane's eventual unmasking in 2003. Perhaps this is what gave WWE the idea of doing that.
That's not right.
Kane had a choice between throw the referee out of the way and knock Ric Flair's lights out without having to knock over the referee. Kane chose the former, which in turn activates the referee is knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche.
High-risk guy.
So if Kane never countered with his boot, was Hunter's plan to leap off the top rope just to fall next to Kane without doing any damage whatsoever?
Patience here.
Kane kicked Earl Hebner in the face so hard he accidentally turned Earl into a tree. These kicks have been having tree-creating abilities, I've noticed.
There's no mercy from Kane!
Gonna give this a double sin. First sin goes to Hunter being addicted to Kane's big red machines, and the other one goes to Kane actually falling for Hunter's cliched begging for mercy tactic that practically all heels do. See? Look at this. Even Triple H doesn't give a shit about the title unification match. He's now both the World Heavyweight Champion and the Intercontinental Champion, yet only has one title in his hand, leaving the other one behind.
Yes, it was all a lie.
After the weeks of feuding and Tracy going through with saying The Undertaker had an affair, she easily admits it was a lie just like that. All that's missing is a Staples That Was Easy button. Oh, wait, that didn't even exist yet.
Confidential. You're a lying bitch.
And The Undertaker made sure that this line was confidential simply by closing the door to the office. A man of his word, indeed. Tonight, the newly created WWE Tag Team Championship titles will be decided. And tonight was the beginning of WWE showing that they just want their titles to have the same design, by this belt practically having the same design as the original WWE World Tag Team Championship belt.
A new tradition!
Okay, I get that there's another set of tag team titles being crowned tonight, but how is any of that a new tradition? It's not like these titles can be won differently from the original tag team titles or anything. I've always wondered, if Kurt Angle hated the fans chanting "You suck" to the beat of his music ever since Edge made that happen this year, why didn't he just change his music? After losing to Rey Mysterio in different matches the last couple weeks, Kurt Angle chooses to not take him seriously by continuously slapping Rey in the back of the head. Kurt Angle wants to face Edge instead of Rey Mysterio. Then we gotta sit through the team have a debate about whether or not Edge wants to be tagged in. I'm pretty sure he does, Ray.
Gotta respect that about Ray Ray.
It's just Ray. Plain Ray. Oh, wait, wrong reference. That terrible movie didn't even exist at this point. I gotta get with the times. It's 2002.
Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker.
That's right. The match you said was moments away about an hour ago. And we still got almost another hour to go before that match actually happens, too. So, you know, moments away.
All other good stuff.
At no point during the check was Edge's shoulder on the mat. Jimmy Corderas probably counted just to freak him out. All that's missing is Jimmy saying, "Haha, made you flinch, pranked you."
Had to defeat the Guerreros.
I like how Edge was kicked by Kurt Angle earlier when thrown into the corner by Chris Benoit, and the second time Edge gave Kurt a spear to prevent that. That could have potentially gone bad for Edge if Kurt lifted his knee up. Cool moment.
Got him to submission lock.
Rey Mysterio tried to get the fans to start clapping so Edge could regain some adrenaline, but the fans choose to be dicks by ignoring him. That's actually a very rare occasion.
Side in and so did Chris Benoit.
If I were Chris Benoit, I wouldn't have spent so much time signaling to the crowd that I'm about to ascend to the top rope to connect my diving headbutt. I would just go for it so Edge doesn't counter in time like he does here.
Here comes Mysterio! On a fire!
Kurt Angle's eyes were on Rey Mysterio's side of the ring the entire time, and he somehow did not see Rey charging after him. This ain't even peripheral vision. This is his actual vision. The quickness on the part of Chris Benoit to counter Rey Mysterio and lock at the crippler crossface was awesome to watch. Getting another sin removed for that.
On the top rope! Missile drop!
That honestly hurt Rey more than it hurt Chris due to Edge connected the missile dropkick around to Rey's back. Edge should be more careful next time. These last few minutes of this tag team title match was full of epic back and forth teamwork from both sets. I'll even take out 5 sins because both teams deserve the praise. That was awesome and smart on the part of Edge. I could rewatch this match and be amazed every time. I call bullshit on this. The referee stopped counting before Kurt Angle even got his shoulder up. So by my calculations, this match is over, and Edge and Rey Mysterio are the inaugural WWE Tag Team Champions. But somehow, they're not. Chris Benoit somehow hasn't realized that he's not the legal participant and is wasting his time, not to mention risking disqualification by locking in the crippler crossface on Edge. Holy fuck, this match is awesome. Just when you think you've seen it all, Rey Mysterio pulls that perfectly timed 619 on Chris Benoit. Encore! Encore!
He's going for the ankle lock!
Angle right infringement.
Without that shot, I ain't gonna make it through Hell in a Cell.
If The Undertaker is worried that he won't make it through Hell in a Cell because of his broken hand, then why did he even request this match in the first place?
Those pedigree-style puppies!
The pay-per-view was starting to build up and get exciting again as it was nearing its main event, and then Jerry Lawler had to bring out his perverted speeches. Damn it.
Well, I've seen a lot of women's business.
Don't start, Jerry. Please don't start. Women's title matches heating up on the outside. Don't distract us with stories of Jim Ross meeting women.
Uh-oh.
Well done, Victoria. You just made Trish Stratus fall right on your head with that move. Hope I don't facepalm too much tonight.
You're trying to talk about Bruno.
Jerry Lawler foreshadowed the We Don't Talk About Bruno song from Encanto a full 19 years before the movie releases. What kind of sorcery does this guy have?
Better be enough. You told her straight.
Trish Stratus gave up and stopped pinning Victoria well before the latter could ever actually kick out of it. What was that about? I'm gonna win. Nah, never mind. I don't wanna.
Stratisfaction landed on her feet. Got the roll.
This match ends because Victoria didn't realize she was supposed to counter the Stratisfaction and forced Trish to improvise and roll her up instead. Well, at least this shit match is over. Oh, come on, can we please just get to the main event already? Gotta love the creepy singing while showcasing the ominous Hell in a Cell structure for this match between The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Got chills watching this. If I were Brock Lesnar, I wouldn't be yanking the ropes like that. They did kind of break earlier in the night, so be careful. The referee holds up the WWE Championship before The Undertaker even makes his entrance. Don't referees normally do that when everyone is present in the ring?
Again, this cell is 20.
Even though Michael Cole botched the height of the cage, he also ended up foreshadowing the bigger structure introduced 4 years later. Honestly, I think commentators can tell the future of wrestling, and I stand by that.
Amateur background coming.
Damn, you can tell how much The Undertaker hates the air, delivering elbow shots to the air while yelling his lungs out. The feud with the air sounds more personal than his feud with Brock Lesnar.
The animalistic champion.
Oh yeah, there's one thing I absolutely hate about this Hell in a Cell match. Never before has Paul Heyman been more annoying than he is tonight, constantly shouting non-stop throughout the whole 30 minutes. It's really bad.
Get the rules in this matchup. Well, there really are no rules.
Indeed there aren't, so maybe we should all shut the fuck up about it. What do you say, Michael? Sound good?
Not
By
this
the Undertaker.
What, did Paul Heyman grab a commentator headset to shout that or something so that everyone watching at home could hear him yell not this way?
Bandage. The Band-Aid on.
The Undertaker kicks Brock Lesnar in the gut, which would logically send Brock forward. However, Brock defies logic and falls backward instead.
No.
Brock Lesnar somehow thought that he could leave the Hell in a Cell structure. Has he not seen the history of the... Oh, wait, this is Brock Lesnar we're talking about. He never watches the show.
He's been broken twice in recent weeks.
Yeah, we know. We heard you the first time you told us about how The Undertaker broke his hand twice in recent weeks.
Good match for SmackDown.
That cash shot was brutal, but went right over the place where Brock Lesnar ended up bleeding. So obvious blading is obvious.
Agent Paul Heyman looking at
I'm surprised Brock Lesnar hasn't told Paul Heyman to shut the fuck up at this point.
Izzo.
That one moment when The Undertaker actually elbowed the cage and missed Brock Lesnar completely.
Busted open.
If there was ever a more appropriate time to place the Ow My Hand sin, that was it right there. That was absolutely terrible.
Home now. Undertaker's at home.
Whatever that was supposed to be, it was executed terribly. I'm already annoyed with hearing Paul Heyman yelling like a maniac. Can we at least have some cool moments here? Sure, Paul, I'll try and get away from The Undertaker. I'm only trapped between him and this damn cage with nowhere to go. Paul Heyman actually believes that he could do damage to The Undertaker by reaching his arm inside the cell.
Oh, look at that.
Kicking the cage back into Paul Heyman's chest and shoulder was somehow enough to make his head bleed.
To the broken hand.
Fucking hell, no pun intended. That is one of the most brutal moments of torture in Hell in a Cell history, the way Brock smashes The Undertaker's hand against the cage with that chair.
The cast off.
Removing the cast from The Undertaker's broken hand is the moment you know this match is about to get more insanely brutal than it ever was before, and I am loving every fucking second of it.
Undertaker a superplex.
The Undertaker is addicted to Brock Lesnar's, and what are the odds that this is going to cause Paul Heyman to scream like a maniac again? The Undertaker got his broken hand smashed to bits several times throughout this match, yet he is able to hold his entire weight by grabbing the roof of the cage.
Gash on Lesnar's forehead.
Look, just shut the fuck up and let Brock Lesnar compete without you yelling at him. Jesus Christ. Poor Undertaker. Bad enough that he has an injured hand, but now he throws himself into the cage, missing his target in the process. Premature celebration.
Pouring.
What is it with Michael Cole constantly repeating himself? This is literally the second time in 1 minute that he remarks about The Undertaker having blood pouring out of his head. Also, yes, we know what pouring means. Did you have to repeat it in every sentence, saying it 4 times? Jesus.
Undertaker has never been pinned, has never submitted.
I'm pretty sure Taz meant to say The Undertaker has never been pinned or submitted inside Hell in a Cell, but he forgot to say that. So that leads me to believe Taz has never watched the match where Undertaker lost in his life. Also, well done, Taz. You just jinxed The Undertaker's momentum by bringing up how he has never been pinned or submitted inside Hell in a Cell. Because guess what inevitably happens in about 5 minutes? This moment just foreshadowed the exact way Brock Lesnar conquers The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania in 12 years. Although I gotta remove 30 sins because this is a prime example of how brutal Hell in a Cell used to be. Both wrestlers are bleeding, so much carnage, and the damn ring canvas is stained with blood all over the place. Holy shit, what a fucking brutal sight to behold.